OneCircuit Mailbag, coming to you live from downtown Tasmania. Like and subscribe, or we'll send the puppies round. And we have... LEDs, individually addressable LEDs, ring LEDs. Nice. What have we got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16. 16 ring LEDs. Oh, that's a bit of a flare. And little adapters to suit. And something else. Ah, okay. Yes. All right, let's unpackage this and have a look and see what this is going to do. So 16 individually addressable RGB lights on this ring, and they're WS2812Bs, I think. Let me just check that. Yep, 2812Bs and 16 thereof. And then you've got your 5 volts, your ground, your data in, your data out, so you can daisy chain some more together. And we have our ESP01S, or is this just an 01? Ooh, that's interesting. I think this might just be an 01. I'm not really sure. Do I see little, I mean, usually what I look for is little LEDs down here. I wonder if we can get in a little closer and see what we can see down there. Are they little LEDs down there? Yeah, I think they are LEDs. So, okay, so that's probably an ESP01S. And usually what I do is I desolder this chip and put in, so this is 1 megabyte of flash here, and I usually desolder that and put in 4 megabytes of flash to sort of beef it up a little bit. Probably don't need it for this little ring of lights here. And then this package comes with this adapter, and all this is just for connecting up. So you connect up your power, and there's your power comes into here. Oh, let me just tweak a little bit. There we go. Can we see that? Okay, so power comes in here, so that's marked here VCC and ground. This sits on the top here, and you can see a little arrow. Hopefully you can see a little arrow down the bottom. Maybe not. There we go. So a little arrow down the bottom there, which is pointing that way. So that means that this would sit on top like so in that orientation. And then we've got a little reset button. This here would most likely be a little MOSFET for probably for level shifting. Possibly also what we've got there is maybe that would be for going from 5 volts to 3.3 volts, because that's a 3.3 volt chip. So yeah, not really sure about that. So but either way, what you end up with is going out to here is your VCC, your ground, and then your data, and that's what gets soldered up to the DI. We should probably solder up and see if we can make it go round and round circles. That'd be nice. And we've got 5 volts coming in, and we've got the ESP01S. I've just banged a 1000 microfarad capacitor on its back here, just to give it a little bit more beef when contacting the phone, and it is acting as its own access point at the moment. So the phone's contacting Wi-Fi, ring of fire, I've called it, and I've just got it doing a chase rainbow thing. And of course you can do the usual things where you slow it down and speed it up and do all that sort of stuff. So that's fine. So that seems to be working okay. And now we just got to find some applications for 16 LEDs that you can program at will using an ESP01S. By the way, that is the original 1 megabyte of flash on that. I haven't even desoldered to put the 4 megabyte on. WLED runs fine on the 1 megabyte, and that's great. Mr. Shiny. Wow, very space age. Hiding. A replacement tap. Or 2. LEDs for the taps. What more could you want? Ooh, very rattly. And the rattle reveals some packages, all pretty much the same, 4 of them, and it looks like, I don't know, possibly level shifters, maybe. I am not sure about that one. Not level shifters. Got some labels on here. I need to get right in close and have a look at that IC. YF08E 13K gibberish. 04 maybe. And then CES6. Not very edifying. We do have a ground over here. We've got a VB and a VA. I do like a VB. I think probably because all these are A's and all these are B's, I'm going to go with level shifter. And in fact, if we turn this over and have a look, it does have something like, what does that say on here? It says, if we can stop it flaring, it says 1.6 volts VCCB, 5.5 volts, and 1.2 volts VCCA to 3.6 volts. So level shifting probably both ways, with this being the low side and this being the high side. Have been having a little bit of a deep dive on level shifters, probably at this stage making my own with MOSFETs, and I'll link up a project where I've done that, but always a good idea to have them, particularly if you have a lot of channels to be shifting. Extremely light and easy maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, very interesting guy. It looks like some sort of development module featuring what chip though? Yeah, we'll definitely need to get close to that. We've got some Wi-Fi and or Bluetooth happening here. Let's get right in though. There's a bit of chatter around about the WCH chips. This is the CH582M. We have seen the CH552 on this channel before, and I'll link that one up. This looks like a lovely development module though, where we can explore what looks to be obviously a big brother, including maybe integrated Wi-Fi and or Bluetooth. I'm not sure. A lot of pins broken out there. I think we should get them soldered up at some stage and have a bit of a play. We've got USB-C on the end and also a standard USB interface there. Not really sure what that's about. We've also got what looks to be some sort of maybe serial interface as well. So yeah, I think this could be a very interesting beast to play with. And we have, oh, wow, nice. Some push buttons, which I suspect are also light up push buttons. Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely one. Looks like they might be touch sensitive because no pushing is going on. I'm going to hook up some volts to this and see what happens. Not as complicated as I thought. These aren't buttons at all. They're just waterproof LEDs. So if you have a project that's outside and you want it to be weatherproof but still indicating what's going on, then this is the button, the LED that you want. I've got some reds, some blues, and some greens. Now we just have to figure out what outside project gets the nice big LEDs first. Smoking hot and just as smelly. And inside is ICs. And the ICs are, let's see if we can get in close. Probably should use, like all of the protection and whatnot, but anyway, we're in the country, so we'll do what we want. And we've got SN74HC, HCT08N. Are they all 08Ns? So I think these are logic chips that I got recently because I realized that all of my CMOS chips didn't go high until they saw, I think, 3 point something or other volts. Whereas these guys, I think they were all 08s. Whereas these guys went high at, I think, 2.7 volts. So when I was doing some switching with ESP8266s, then I needed something which was going to flip at a lower VH being the voltage at which it indicates high, and so that meant these sort of older style chips, which I think will come in handy for those sorts of IoT style projects. Effectively level shifting, because you can supply these with what you want, but then the signal coming in being low enables you to to switch to higher. So I think that's what that's about. A box, a smoking hot box, and inside the hot box it says printed circuit boards on the other side, but let's see what's actually in. I think I missed that corner. There we go. Wrapping's good, and printed circuit boards indeed. Wow. Right, a programming shield for the PFS154. Oh yeah. Okay, so interesting project, this one. This is something which I've seen. So I've always programmed up the PFS154s and similar with the what's it called? Easy PDK programming project. It's not easy, but it does work after a fashion, and I've done countless videos on getting it to work. But I spied this version, and so this sits on top of an Arduino. How this works, I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure I've got most of the components required. Let's have a little bit of a closer look down here if we can. So clearly in that sort of form factor that fits over an Arduino. And then what have we got? Can we read? Okay, so an LM358, which is on the original Padauk programming as well, the one that I have done anyway. We've got an MC34063 marked. We've got some capacitors, BAT48 diodes, what's that, 330 micro Henry, probably inductor. I'm going to have a look at the website where I got this from, but this looks like a way easier way for people to program the Padauks. I haven't lost interest in the Padauks by any stretch of imagination. I'm using them all over the place at the moment, and I've got a lot of them. And the programs that I've got are perfectly fine, but having gone down the rabbit hole so deep, it's really nice if we can find something that perhaps other people might be able to access these lovely little cheap chips. They are still available. I think I picked up 100 PFS 154s relatively recently for, I think, around about 7 cents each. So still pretty good value as well. I will not solder this up right away, but very soon I'll do a video, solder this one up and see if we can't program, specifically it says PFS 154. Interesting idea. Large-ish, heavy-ish, revealing. More LEDs, yes please. There are different individually addressable LED strips out there. I'm favouring these ones. I'm not sure that they're actually weatherproof, so I've still got some outside ones, as I think we've discussed before. But I love these ones. They're about, I think that's 20 meters, and inside each one of these little bubbles is an LED, RGB, but also individually addressable. So the effects are just magnificent. I've pretty much fallen in love with WLED as a project on an ESP01S. You don't even have to modify them, actually, to be honest. The ESP01S has 1 megabyte of flash, and that is sufficient to run the code required to do some really amazing things with these LEDs. Highly recommend it. I'm going to be buying lots more of these. I've actually had quite a few people who came over during the festive season and said, oh, where did you get those lights from? So I think I'll be busy during the year producing these for those neighbours. Great. Wow. Boxus Maximus. Interesting. Says 2.4 gig wireless controller gamepad. Oh, what a shame. I had my sons over for the festive season, and I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we get together and play some old classic games? But they've gone back to their lives. Some well-known characters there, and I'm left to possibly play these games all by myself. What a shame. That looks like some sort of controller, game stick it says. And if we open that, oh yes, so we've got the HDMI output straight into the back of the machine. Got an SD card there. We've got a micro USB connector. We've got a standard USB connector. We've got our little wireless iMachine. Oh no, this would be for the controller. I imagine it'd be a wireless controller in here. 1 or 2. Please be 2. Yes, we have 2 controllers. Oh, this is going to be such fun. Boys, come back. So there we go. We've got a little game controller, all the bits and pieces for it. I believe that there are a number of games programmed on there already. And yeah, I might have a bit of a play with that. If you want to see this as a separate video, just see what it's like, pretty cheap little unit, let me know in the comments, and I'll whip up a video on specifically on this and what it's like to play with. But it was just about whiling away a few hours when the lads were here. They're not here anymore. Never mind. Next time. Quite a light deal. Ooh, it's still warm from singeing. These parcels come in on a high, fast trajectory, and they burn up on the way in. And some of that story is true. Right. So, ooh, I love that sound. So I spend a bit more time doing it for those who've got their headphones in. That's so nice. Very good. And revealing in the end, looks like ESP32 maybe? Can I read from that height? No, look, I really want to get down and have a look. Let's see what we've got. Supposedly from Expressive, possibly. ESP32 C3 room, and then a little OTU 02U at the end. Lots of different varieties of the ESP32s. The C3 I think we've seen before, and probably I got these ones because you can put a little antenna on there, and these guys talking to each other would be a joy. So at some point in the future we will do that. I hope they're legit, and I'll put up the little graphic of where I got them from, AliExpress probably, and the price. But yeah, nice one. And of course I've also got the adapters for these boards as well, so they slot straight in to both program them but also to access them afterwards. You can get them on boards for development if you just want to play with them, but these ones will be put, I think, straight into service. So quick program up, and then they want to talk to each other. Got a few ideas for these guys. Well packed. What's the bubble wrap in there? Most likely, yes. And let's peel that off. Let's not. Let's cut that off. There we go. And we have development boards for an ESP32. I want to say probably the C3, but let's specifically have a look and see what it says. And it says it says ESP-C3, and then it's got a 13U afterwards. But yeah, nice little development board to have a play with the programming of these things. They're very capable. They are appearing in a lot of projects at the moment, not just me, of course, but all around the place. And this looks like a nice incarnation. We've got the possibility of putting on an antenna. It looks like a RGB. I don't think that that's individually addressable. I'm going to say that that's probably just a straight RGB, and that's going to be a couple of the pin outs from, or the GPIOs I should say, from that chip straight to there. Voltage regulator, reset program. This is going to be one of those CH340 style chips to be able to communicate over USB, and it says CH340C upside down, and possibly this configuration here looks like it might be some sort of logic level converter using a MOSFET, which yeah, we've seen before as well. Underneath we have a lot of foam, but nothing else. Yeah, you know, I mean, there are your labels underneath. Somewhat annoying when you put that on the breadboard and can't see them. But anyway, that's what it is. A development module for the ESP32C3. A giant box full of air. This is from a business that I think has just one standard box, because pretty much everything I order from them, it's Core Electronics here in Australia, is in this giant box. A box of air containing something strapped to the lid and some paperwork, which we won't bother with. What is in here though? Let's have a look. Oh, that's nice and crackly. Good start. And let's just cut that one so we can get in. And we have Raspberry Pi. Oh, did you hear that? Look at that. Or should I say, listen to that. That's not why I buy them, by the way. But still, bonus. And inside, come on, finally. We have RP, which ones? Picos? I'm going to open one up. Problem is when I'm filming this, I'm filming it from a great height. And so it's a bit hard to see what's going on. Yeah, lots of very small writing. Let's get in closer. Well, if you're shouting at your screen, you've seen it well before I have. Raspberry Pi Pico, yes, but W for Wi-Fi enabled. Pretty good. Still a pretty cheap unit based on the RP2040 chip. This one manufactured in the 47th week of 2021, and we are now in the something week of 2023-ish, and all the lovely bits and pieces. But I'm going to hook that up and see if I can't talk to my local Wi-Fi. Very handy for doing simple control stuff around the house. But obviously the RP2040, very capable chip. Lots of resources available for it. So I think the Pico W is going to, I guess, not rival, but certainly complement the ESP32 modules that I've got scattered around the place. Nice one, Core Electronics. Thanks for that. Not a sponsored video. Ding. That is the mailbag for the week, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.